Okay. Control. We have just defeated a bunch of people here in the maintenance section. We've gotten this power not too long ago, which is a shield. I don't remember. Okay, yeah, here we can have blast, but I'm not allowed to make my build around blast, so I remember that. I think we came from there, which means we haven't gone over there yet. We will in a minute. First, we need to lift the territorial override right here. So we're gonna start there, see what happens.
That's it. The other sector should be open now. I think it's time I told Emily why I'm here. I'll risk it. You two should get to know each other.
Let's go and do that then. This should bring me back up to the general maintenance area. Yep. Oh, okay, we're back there. Let's go quickly see Hati. I think we grabbed a bunch of quests too that we should be doing. Quests are worth doing in this game. How do we do that again? There was a menu. Okay, that'll do. Oh, that's right. We've got a bunch of videos to watch. I forgot. Okay, let's start with that. It'll help us get back into it. Oh, just one. That'll do too.
So much is expected from the director. The responsibility, the privilege to steer the Bureau into dangerous waters and safely out again. To inspire and lead its people, to protect them. The board is there to advise you, but they want things in return. You hold all this in your old, trembling hands. I had to lose everything before I could see the Bureau is the director's life. There's no room for anything else. If the forces contained here escaped, we'd be dragged back into an age of superstition, terror, death. Assuming you think we ever really left that behind. Any emergency, any major containment breach, and the lockdown goes into effect. I implemented this security measure in my first years as director. I knew we were vulnerable. I'd personally seen the cost of sloppiness. I made sure the internal lockdown could only be lifted by a directorial override, only to be used when the director is confident the sectors are safe to be opened again. This way, the director is the last line of defense. And if I screw up, it's on me, and me alone.
Okay. What are you again? Assets, loadout. It's fine. I don't remember what this is. We'll figure it out. Okay, so... Well, that wasn't it. Missions. Okay, yes. Missions. Burn the trash. Okay, we only add one. I thought we had others. Okay, let's go take a look in Ati's office. maybe more quests. Guess not. I think they're supposed to be on that board. Okay. In that case, let's just go back. Talk to Emily. See where we stand. Do at all. Trying to figure out how to switch shoulders. Oh, those are ability points. Okay, okay, right. We're gonna wait. I like the shield. We're probably gonna try to use it a little bit more. But I want to see what the other two powers are. Pretty sure there's a way to switch shoulders. Let's see. Options. Control. Toggle side. Oh, yes. There we go. Because you can't reload in this game. It just kind of happens on its own. So, that makes sense. Yeah, you wouldn't have much fun in Elden Ring. It is extremely non-linear. It's something that I personally enjoy from it. It's very, very what? I think it's the executive sector. Yeah, I think it's the executive center where Emily is. It really gives me the sense of exploration that I crave and that I haven't had since Morrowind, right? Morrowind, there's a scene, not a scene, but a moment I had playing Morrowind decades ago that I usually go back to as a reference to this kind of feeling. It's that moment when you're in the mountains, you're fighting things, you're barely, able to survive. It's difficult, everything is hard, and you're succeeding despite of it all. You're in the zone, right? And you just kind of turn a corner, open a door, and in front of you is this flame Atronarch. And this was 30 years ago, so back then I had no clue what a flame Atronarch was. I just looked at it and went, nope. Closed the door and really hoped it wouldn't see me. There was this intensity, this very visceral, very real moment of nope, and me turning around. And you don't tend to have that because a lot of games really obsess over being balanced and making sure that, like for example, the modern design of things leveling up with you, which I hate. It's fine to give you something that you can't defeat now and again because you're just not there yet. It makes your world much more immersive and believable. And it's fine to have surprises in your game. Like, there are moments in Elden Ring where, yay, I found a chest. You open the chest and the chest is a freaking trap. It teleports you to a completely different part of the map and you have to fight your way back. It's intense. It's awesome. It makes you feel like you're living an actual adventure. You are experiencing things, you the player, not you the character on the screen. So it's really fun. But let me read through your thoughts in Tiny Tina's The Wonderland. It has some of the best gunplay in the series. That's really good because the gunplay was already amazing. And there's a lot of good quality of life improvements over too. Has some of the best locations in Borderlands. That's cool. But the story and comedy is, oh no, very weak, really. Along with, I feel there's too much loot. Like a normal melee boss will drop 10 to 15 items, but you hardly ever actually find something useful. Okay. Like I kept the same exact loadout for almost 2 hours, and it's not like I am in the endgame yet. Okay. I feel like it is something I might need to talk to you about before I commit to streaming it. Okay. Alright. Yeah, sure. Let's find a moment to discuss eventually all about Tiny Tina. Like, of course, as usual, I trust you on that, but let's just...
Brings up a lot of new questions. Are they communicating? Coordinating? What about the plant attracted them?
The power plant is largely confidential. No use guessing the hiss's motives if we don't even know what kind of energy it uses.
What do you mean? It has to be a fusion reactor. There's no other way to create that kind of energy output, right?
Right, so let's, be careful about spoilers and stuff, but sure, yeah, let's discuss Tiny Tina eventually. And,
Jesse, you made it, and you lifted the internal lockdown.
Let's talk, Emily.
Yes, of course.
I mean, to be fair, we're in no rush here. We have several more weeks of this, then we've got Swan Song, then we've got either Tiny Tina or Alien Isolation, so we've got plenty of time to discuss Tiny Tina to see if it's worth doing or not. We'll see where things go. There's also the fact that... I guess we can go into that right now, because I have to bring it up eventually. I may have to take a break from streaming, unfortunately. It's the last thing I want to do, but there's a reason why I couldn't stream the last 2 weeks, and that is because I'm helping a different department, which is the department that gives training to young minds joining our company. And while I really love giving training, it is so exhausting. Oh my god, is it exhausting. I get back home and I have no cells left in my brain. I have no energy left to do anything. And I was in no condition to stream for the last 2 weeks because I was helping out the training team. And now I'm okay for the next several weeks because I'm actually on vacation for 3 weeks. Like, I made an arrangement to have 3 weeks in a row, so I'm definitely going to be streaming the next 3 weeks. But after that, when I come back to work, I don't know what's going to happen. Probably going to be back in my normal job for a short time, hopefully long enough to finish Control. But there's a strong chance that I'm going to have to help out training for an extended period of time that might actually extend all the way to freaking June. So, yeah. That's the thing. I will keep all of you updated in terms of that, in terms of if I'm able to stream or not, or if I need to just, after Control is done, let's just take several weeks so I can get through that training thing and get back to you with some energy to go through Swan Song. Because I am not kidding. Every night after training for about 2 weeks straight, I came back home with a huge headache. That there was no way I could stream in that condition. So, yeah. I'll keep you all updated. If I need to take some time off, I'll let you know. But I'm gonna try to at least make sure we finish Control before that happens, and we'll see from there. But for now, let's talk to Emily Pope.
Listen, Emily. Screw it. Just tell her. I haven't been completely honest. I have a younger brother, Dylan. When we were kids, we found an old slide projector in Ordinary's landfill. The slides created doorways to other places. Bad things happened. Came through. That's all she gets. The rest stays locked inside. But we found help. Through one of the doorways, we met something. A being.
A being? What kind of being?
It's hard to describe, but she helped us. We managed to turn the projector off. The bad things that came through the doorways were gone. After that, your people came. Tried to grab us. I ran away. They got Dylan. I left him behind.
Bureau agents took your brother?
Yes. You covered it up. No one believed me. I just want to find Dylan. I've been looking for him ever since.
What happened to the slide projector? It sounds like another object of power.
I thought you took it. The Bureau. Along with Dylan.
I've never heard of it. But around here, I assume everything's classified. You know, I looked into the ordinary AWE case files after you mentioned it. Trench and Darling were both involved. A large area of the containment sector was reserved for it. The case hasn't been active for a long time. I have no idea if anything's still there. Can you tell me more about this being you found?
Let's hope you two get along. She's been with me ever since Ordinary. In my head. She led me to you. I call her Polaris.
As in a guiding star. Did Polaris know about the hiss? If she got you in here in spite of the lockdown, she's very powerful. Which may help explain your test results. Your readings are incredible, Jesse. Now, cross-referencing them with the database, I found 2 matches in Darling's old classified files. Unfortunately, I can't access them beyond the file codes, but one was P6, referring to a prime candidate for a potential future bureau director. This was logged years ago.
Dylan. Is that Dylan?
The other match is on something called Hedron, which must be connected to these Hedron resonance amplifiers somehow. All I know is that Marshall went to the research sector to secure the HRA production after the hiss first attacked.
So, Marshall seems like our best lead on Dylan. I need to go after her. How can I get to the research sector?
Use my keycard. The sector elevator will take you there.
Research it is.
Marshall is the next step. What Emily told me about Ordinary, my powers being connected to things in the Bureau's past. I am so close to something. Do you feel it? Something's coming.
We take turns to come for a visit. I helped you. You owe me now. And when time comes, I will come calling.
Okay, interesting choice of words. Yeah, I hear you, Turtle. Actually, now that you mention it, it does line up with some of the things I've read online about the game, and that's actually a really good point. Maybe it's not as good an idea as we thought. Yeah. Okay, well, we'll talk about it, but I guess for now what it means is most likely we'll do Alien after this. it's a great game anyway, so it's not a bad thing at all. We do not need to do that. I've barely ever done those in my first playthrough. I tried at first, but they just usually end up with me dead and nowhere closer to getting anything useful.
Hi, Jesse.
I think those are all new.
I keep finding traces of Darling, but still can't find him. Where could he be?
But he's usually in his office in research or one of his labs. Dr. Darling has quite a few all around the Bureau. Could be hiding in any one of them. I check myself, but I don't have access to most of them.
Sounds like I touched a nerve.
He didn't let you into his labs?
Not all of them, no. Some had volatile material. It's ridiculous. I mean, this whole place is volatile material.
Pretty much.
Could have at least thought up a more convincing lie. I mean, how can I work without access to all the data possible?
Yes, they are new. Okay.
This place has a bad habit of moving around, huh?
So you notice the building shifts. Did you know that 39% of Bureau accidents are caused by the shifts? It's true. I ran the numbers myself.
So they're dangerous.
Oh, very. Yet one time, a shark got shifted into a meeting room along with over 2,000 gallons of water. It was a tiger shark. Darling's pet research project. I forget what he was researching.
How do people work here?
Damn good question. They should not be working here.
You said you're an assistant?
Oh, it's just a title. I'm a scientist, a researcher. I work for Dr. Darling. See, when Bureau agents go out in the field, the sites of altered world events, we study the materials, the altered items they bring back. It's always something we've never seen before, and studying them requires new instruments, methodologies, sometimes entirely new fields of science.
Emily really loves her job.
Who
See, there's no
wouldn't?
guidebook for what we do here. Everything that happens at the Bureau, including the science, is without precedent.
What exactly is the Ocean View Motel?
That's a bigger question than you might think. You see, I have extreme doubts that the motel is a single place. I mean, look at all the doors inside it. Where do they all go? We know that one door leads to the oldest house, but how come we can only ever open that one door? Maybe to open a door, you have to have entered through it. So if every door leads to a different dimension, plane, reality, whatever you want to call it, then I believe that the motel is firm proof that parallel universes exist.
Does Darling agree with that?
I haven't told him yet. I'm waiting until I can prove it.
I mean, y'all explore the astral plane all the time.
What can you tell me about control points?
They're nexus points of the oldest house's unique energies. Now, I wrote a 30-page proposal hypothesizing that we could siphon energy directly from them. Darling didn't even get through the first page before he turned it down.
Right. And, has anyone ever used them to teleport around?
What? No. What, I mean, you mean physically? No, not that I've ever heard of. Why?
Because that's how they work for me.
What? Really? Oh my god. More tests.
Let's hold off on the tests until later, okay?
That's awesome.
Okay. You know, it's just, wow. I mean, this blows my control point theories right out of the water. I love it.
That's awesome. Like,
See you soon.
Be careful out there.
It's quick travel. Obviously, they have to put quick travel. And as a player, I never gave any second thought to the fact that, hey, you know, I quick travel. But in the context of the game, I really very much am teleporting around. So it's really cool that they thought to do something with that.
They're saying Trench was shot dead. The situation's getting worse.
I saw Trench and Darling arguing a couple weeks ago. Trench was furious. You don't think Darling...
Don't be stupid. What would the Bureau's golden child have to gain from killing the boss?
No one killed the boss. The boss got fired. That's how the board works. Okay. Research. I remember research being pretty damn hard. But, as Rose mentioned a few weeks ago, I'm playing on easy difficulty here. And most likely what happened is that I wasn't when I played the game the first time. Because every room I remember being difficult is actually pretty easy in this playthrough, so...
I'm Dr. Casper Darling, head of research. Somebody thought this video would make for great internal communications. I'm looking at you, Mr. Tomasi. So, this is where the magic happens. Anyway, I've been here for 24 years now. I've always been here. And through those years, we've made astonishing discoveries, authored studies of great importance, and in all this work, there is one thing we know, and that's how little we truly know. Rest assured, we're committed to keep pushing the known laws and borders of reality, and to make the Bureau proud. So, welcome. Assuming you have the necessary clearance, and do follow the safety protocols. Read the manual. Otherwise, bad things will happen.
Research sector, huh? Home of the Bureau's mad scientists.
Well, bad news. Bad things are already happening. Okay, let's start here. Let me see. Tax refund, Chromebook, nice. 3D printer, even nicer. Got it all built, waiting for one replacement part. Then I can start making stuff. Planning to use it to make models to paint and lard props. Don't gives me a GLaDOS vibe. a little bit of a GLaDOS vibe. That's cool though. A 3D printer seriously sounds pretty awesome. I don't have one, but I've heard of the cool things people have been doing with them. I do think you're probably going to have a blast with that. Sorry about that effect. I did not mean for that to happen at all. Hello, floating folks. Is there more than one slide? Doesn't sound like it. Okay. How did I switch weapons again? Guess we're gonna need that. Switch weapon. X. That doesn't make much sense. Oh, F on the controller. Okay, X on the controller, but F for me. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's go take a quick look at our new... Okay, multimedia is what we just watched. We don't need to watch it again. Correspondence. Unread. Plant complaint. Hey, so I was just wondering about the plants in research. Is it really necessary to sing to them? I mean, that janitor does have a nice voice, and the plants sure seem to like it. Maybe he could just switch it up a bit. I'm getting pretty tired of the tango. And where did these plants even come from? No one seems to remember when they were planted, and people like them a bit too much, if you ask me. Are we being invaded by houseplants? Worth looking into. in this office? Hell yeah, worth looking into for sure. Synchronicity. A glimpse into the paranatural synchronicity and the unseen connections. Introduction. Synchronicity is a phenomenon long recognized by the wise, but only recently given a name by science. It is how we rationalize events connected by no identifiable causality, yet clearly conjoined in purpose. How does a dream foretell an event in the physical plane? Why do hounds bail at the death of their master, which has occurred miles away? The world is unified in ways we do not yet understand, and sometimes... sorry, I lost where I was. Okay, and sometimes we stumble across these invisible, unseen chords and wonder at the result. The visionary Carl Jung laid the road. Now we must walk it. My fledgling research department will make it our mission to reliably reproduce redacted behavior by the close of 1959. Once done, the mechanics of synchronicity will lay themselves bare in due time. We are striding into the future of science. History may not remember our names, but God himself will. Refer to file redacted. I do believe I think we saw something along those lines. Just humor. It's not, I don't think it was don't argue, but there was something about, what was that? Crap. I just had it there for a second and now I just lost it. Oh. Terra, because thanks to you, I just found a new way to fight these guys. Shield really does make them pretty trivial. Interesting, I did not expect that. Okay, so what do we have here? We've got... I think that's the floor. That's a good mix. That's a good mix. I can work with that. There we go. Yeah, the two flying guys used to be a huge issue. Now, not so much. I think there was really a big difference between easy and normal. Anyway, if it's not a rule to not argue with Hati, it really should be one. Emergency call summary. A possible AWE in which an unnamed individual experienced transcorporeality via a phone line. Event is notably similar to AWE redacted, in which redacted. Event response. Event is believed to have been caused by redacted, and as a result, the following measures have been taken to prevent redacted. Redacted. See, that's kind of what I meant with there are a lot of files in the game. And that one didn't add much of anything, did it? Okay, let's go take care of those two snipers. We got this, y'all. We've got this. Sure. Take your time, buddy. Gonna loot shit. Start with going down there. Sorry. As I recall, there's a few cool things down there. We're not going to be able to do all of it because we're missing a few key upgrades, but there are one or two cool things I want to show all of you, and I'm pretty sure Tara has seen them before from my first playthrough. Again, to clarify, it's the first time I actually legit streamed the game, but back when I was playing it for fun, there were a couple of evenings where I streamed for the hell of it. Oh, there's your dog sitting. I was wondering why I was going on. Okay, I see. Right, here is the big thing. Like, we were talking about the mold. Eventually, when we're going to be able to go in there. Can I? Or not? Oh, I don't actually lose HP here. Okay, cool. Like, down there, we're not going to go now, but Boku bad shit going down there. With the mold. It's literally taking over our universe. It's just less of a threat than the hiss right now, so we're really focused on taking down the hiss. But make no mistake, the mold is a huge fucking issue. I'm actually kind of surprised they never made any kind of DLC about the mold. Because it's just as invasive. I was worried for DMCA reasons, but just wanted to poke it just to see if something weird happened. Okay, and there's over here. Okay, we've been to that one, but did we go to this? Yeah, right. We didn't go there yet. Okay, let's start with the bathrooms and come back over there. I think this room is a big deal. I forgot why, but I think it's a big deal. Let's start with the new collectible. Hubert, Black Rock Analysis. Hey Carla, does it strike you as odd that Darling insists on having us appear in those bizarre videos of his? I mean, we just stand there. He doesn't even let us have lines or anything. Don't get me wrong, beats a day in the lab, but it's always great... I'm sorry, beats a day in the lab, plus it's always great to work with you. Oh yeah, I finished the comparative analysis of the 2 Black Rock samples you sent. The prism, or whatever you called it, I filed them under the usual place, under C for Carla, a handy mnemonic device, right? Anyway, let me know if there's anything you want to discuss about the data. I'll gladly explain. Maybe we could chat about it over some drinks, or dinner, even. I can't remember the last time I had a good steak. Maybe we could go together after work sometime. I'm free tomorrow. All the best, Hubert. Well, someone's got a crush. Hiss Sniper. Bureau snipers specialize in eliminating threats from a distance, using the telltale searchlights affixed to their rifles to search for targets. His snipers are no less lethal. The corruption has not changed their tactics. They clearly prefer to maintain a good distance from their target, waiting in elevated positions for a clear shot. Care should be taken in open spaces. Check the balconies. I should note that their rifles are equipped with a bayonet for close quarter combat, and the His snipers are well aware of how to use it. Refer to file redacted for the full report. Okay. I don't think this is the bathroom. There is the bathroom in the game. I don't think this one is it. I'm trying to see if I can remember which one it is. And I know I'm being super cryptic, and it's going to have to stay this way, unfortunately, until I can explain that statement a little better. I suppose what I can say is there is an interdimensional bathroom. That's all I'll say about it. I just don't think it's actually obvious when you're inside of it. It'll make sense when it actually happens. Just want to make sure I didn't miss any loot up here. That sounds good. Alright, let's go downstairs. Yeah, exactly. Not that I doubt Hattie's work, you know, but I mean, so far he's been pretty content having me do his work, so. Okay. Okay. Nothing to be done. Okay, files, there we go. Song questionnaire. I don't need to go in there just yet, but I guess we're going. Okay. Let's read the text before we do anything else. Song questionnaire. Auditory experience 84.c. Poets of the Fall. My dark disquiet. Answered questions within 2 minutes of listening. Did the song elicit any particular memories? If so, elaborate. Did you at any point feel a strong emotion? If so, what emotion? Did a clear image of a weapon appear in your mind during the song? If so, elaborate. Provide a detailed description of your current surrounding as you see them. Have you ever heard the murmur of voices when no one is present? If so, what did they say? Did you hear them now? 6. Please choose one from each of the following pairs. 1 or 2, A or B, day or night, apple or orange, burn out or fade away. I'm not sure what that's for, but let's see what this does. Guess we just started a song. We're not going to actually listen to it for DMCA reasons. Those are probably, yeah, those are the lyrics to the song. Okay. I thought this was going to be a bigger deal. I remember this being a bigger deal, but I guess I'm wrong. Okay. Let's go to through the door. Parapsychology. There we go.
She's in trouble. I need to reach her.
Okay, so I can probably jump there. What about here? Can I go here? What exactly is stopping me from going there? Let's see what the issue is. Okay, but doesn't matter. The correct way is clearly over there. So let's do that. Oh, different. Okay. We got a bunch of folks down there. Okay. Switching shoulders. Switching guns, actually. Or a few mods that will increase. Actually, we'll do grab a bit of healing. Buff up the shield. There was an explosion I couldn't account for. I don't know if there was a rocket or some kind of grenade I didn't see, but that was painful. Yep, well, not that specific form, that's the full auto form. I can also switch it to this one, which is more of a revolver form. Control point eventually because do I need a control point for that? Let me check. Actually, wait, no, load out. Spin or shatter? Yeah, okay. So I don't have the sniper yet. Hopefully we find a control point soon-ish so that I can upgrade and potentially get my own sniper because that is going to be really useful. Yes, I actually died. There was an explosion behind me at some point. I have no idea how it happened. And it went through my health like it wasn't there. the fact that there's a guy left alive to go get some help. There are indeed rockets. That's what. Okay. Take out the rocket guy as soon as I can. Damn. Oh, it's definitely him. Who threw that grenade? Can't get that guy even there. Okay, that's done. Good. Okay. There's someone in there not having a great time. Same here. Okay. Anything I can... Doesn't seem like it. Alright, then let's read the new text we got and go further into the building. Okay, yeah, we don't need that. Case files. Unread. NA AWE 18. Transcript of a call to the California State Emergency Services. Dispatcher 911, what's your emergency? Hello? Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me? I can hear you, ma'am. Where are you? I'm, inside the wires. I'm lost. Ma'am? Have you been drinking tonight? I feel like I'm stretching through the wire towards you. Don't hang up. I might go if you hang up. Go where, ma'am? Go. Gone. Away. Okay. And can you describe your surroundings? Unknown noise. Ma'am? Hello? Ma'am? Note. Dispatcher attempted to call the number back, but it was no longer in service. Okay. Astral exhibition! Ooh. Wait, what?
The astral plane. Similar to an iceberg, what you see is not what you always get. Regardless, this place is vitally important to the Bureau. Most information on the astral plane is classified, but we can talk in broad strokes, keeping in mind that these are staggeringly complex systems, and simplification does them no justice. Now, the white non-space, the ever-present inverted black pyramid. The board, all linked, intrinsically tied to the oldest house, tied to the director, the process of choosing a director, tied to all objects of power in terms of who controls them. Yes.
He seemed like he was talking to someone. That was weird. Okay. Astral construct. Here we go. Weapon forms. Pierce. Okay. I think that's what we're gonna want. We're gonna need a lot more astral blip and sources, whatever that is. Upgrade grip. We're gonna need more ritual impulse. Okay, so we can't do much about any of that. That's fine. Constructs level. I suppose we can do that. Although, I think it's just going to impact the random drops I can buy. And not necessarily what I find in the world. Let's take one upgrade. See what happens. As for abilities, we're gonna wait a little bit. For now, what we got is decent enough, although health is always something that can go higher. Let's do that. Ooh, additional personal mod slot. Okay, I'm really okay with that, actually. This was okay. Can I just get more health? Yeah. Let's do that. Grip is more damage. Spin is accuracy. That's already good. That's not great. Spin grouping efficiency. Yep. 60. Yep, that's already the best we're gonna get. All right. And that we just did. Okay. However, one thing I want to check. We just got. Okay, this is still there. Okay. Sometimes the control points push back the red zones, so I thought maybe that's a thing that could happen. Okay. The Astral Exhibition was originally built for the astronauts to use as a training location, a place to grow accustomed to the sights and sounds of the astral plane before diving into the real thing. We could have done a better job with it, but Redacted was being stingy with the budget. However, once we discovered the Redacted, we decided to repurpose the space. Similar to how zoos hope familiar surroundings will affect the well-being of their animals, we hope to observe the Redacted's behavior in an environment similar to its home dimension. So far, it just breaks everything we put in with it. But Rome wasn't built in a day. Refer to File 319-3811 for full report. Addendum. New naming conversations have been established for the astral entity now known as Astral Spike. Outdated terms in this report have been redacted. And then this, by the way, is another big reason why I think a tabletop game for Control should exist. Like, how cool would it be to go on an astronaut expedition? A lot is the correct answer.
I can't believe they keep that thing here.
Yes, I do have to go through that. Okay. Okay. I know I'm in your space. I know I'm in your space. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go away real soon. Much right now. Okay. Let's find the second. Oh. There we go. Let's try it. Look like a bitch, but we can do this. Oh, we can. Come here, buddy. Come here. Yes. Yeah. Oh. Is that... Oh. So I could have done it like that then instead. Got it. We use line of sight. That's fine. Let's give you line of sight. Come here. Come here, buddy. It's just eating, don't you? I ain't judging. I ain't judging. Come on, bro. Come on. You pissed off little interdimensional entity. Come on. Come on. Supposed to trap you if you won't follow in the other direction. I thought it came with me. Come on, baby. Come on. No, you really won't? So let's do that. There's really no way I can do this without dying. Okay. Oh, dang it. Oh, come on. I had it. It's fine. It's fine. Oh wait, didn't I have a like, there you go. That's gonna help. Oh, hello. Let's watch that.
An early hypothesis was that the mindscape of the astral plane is subjective. But that was fast proven wrong. It's an actual place, not a construct of the mind. though it is with our minds that we enter and experience it. But then, one could argue that that's the case with all reality. We've been able to record footage of the astral plane by monitoring the brain activity of those experiencing it. That is the only concrete material that has come out of the astral plane expeditions, apart from one shocking exception. In the astral plane footage, we're always in the vicinity of the pyramid. We've concluded that this, not the entire plane, is what the board controls. We have glimpsed movement, native species, always in the distance, and yet contact was made. We don't have footage of this, a technical malfunction, but when one of our astronauts returned, a brain cloud, an astral fugue, had hitchhiked a ride in his head. It ruptured out, killing the subject in question. It's a relentless predator, pursuing thoughts, minds, lethal to those the entity feeds on. Proper containment protocols are to be observed when dealing with it.
You know, unless you're the director, in which case just go ahead. Walk right in. And apparently leave the door open. Oh, it did take into account that I captured it. Alright then. I'll take it.
Someone answer, dammit! We need backup down here!
Marshall, are you still there?
Shit. We're so close. We need to hurry.
Go. I know eventually I'm gonna have to annoy these guys over there, but let's deal with everyone else first if I can. Oh, I know I didn't comment too much on that last bit there because I was busy surviving it, but I mean, pretty cool was the whole segment. Like, having to deal with an astral spike. Sorry, it's hard to see folks on the other end. Just the concept of the astral spike and creatures from the astral plane are pretty cool in general. To even begin with. Taking these guys out first. I've seen you. You're not special. I'll get to you at some point. To be clear, I'm not talking about Terraria. Terraria is special. I'm talking about this little dude who just wanted to make sure he got my attention by shooting at me while I was pretending to die in a wheelchair. That one does. Floating wheelchairs. It's a little different. Okay. Welcome back, though. I don't know how much you missed. Mostly I dealt with the astral spike. It was a bit of a cheap shot, actually, because I died just as I was succeeding it. But it's okay, because the game still considered that I had done it. So when I came back after reloading, I didn't have to escape it again. It was fine. Oh, okay, so just as we were going back to them, that's fine. You didn't miss anything, except I came into this room and a fight started. Okay, this is locked, so is that. Okay, just make it, oh, hello. But first, coffee, as they say. And by the way, that's an actual thing. I don't know if any of y'all knew that, but I saw recently at work someone with a coffee mug that literally on it said, "But first coffee." I am not kidding. That is an actual thing. I don't know if any of you knew that every time I was saying it. Apparently I'm breaking someone else's copyright. I'm not supposed to use launch, but launch is actually the way to handle armed people, which is why I'm using it exceptionally now. I'm thinking the next person I'm going to see is the armored guy, and it keeps not being it. Go. Whew. Big fight. Lots of research to grab. New mission and captive audience. Okay, that's new. Group think. Okay. Let's grab the control point first, and then we're gonna read everything. Guess that nothing's gonna happen. Oh, actually
Marshall,
something is.
can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Who is this?
My name is Jesse Faden. I'm coming to help.
Faden. Hold on. I'm setting the elevator for you. We need to talk.
She's got that right.
More of you? Really?
Enough of that. Oh, hello. Okay, so elevator. Okay. Oh, okay. So this is the thing I couldn't interact with. This is the path that was blocked. This is where I went to when I first came here. Now that weird shit is gone, Let's see if there's something different. But first, let's read through everything. So we got a bunch of collectibles, and we apparently got a new mission as well. So let's see what we can get. Astral Spike, that's fine. We've seen that. Correspondence, unread. Precognitive powers. Nadine sent this to research for analysis. RE my precognitive power. Urgent, Dr. Darling. Last night, I had a dream. In the dream, I was giving the solution to a staffing problem I'd been presented with just yesterday. The problem is of a confidential nature and must therefore remain unclarified here, but I can assure you that the method through which I received this helpful information was undeniably paranatural. I can only draw the conclusion that I possess exceptional precognitive abilities and, as such, offer my services to the Bureau's research team. We must utilize my powers for the greater good. Signed, Dr. Francis Bertrand. Hiss clusters. Those are the big balls that heal the other hiss. Hiss clusters are unique in that they are concentrated manifestations of hiss resonance without the need of a host. Hiss clusters are dense spherical compressions of hiss resonance that serve support functions in the hierarchy of hiss entities. The clusters are capable of replenishing hiss hosts with infusions of resonance. This does not heal any physical damage inflicted on the organic host, but rather seems to rejuvenate them, allowing them to endure more bodily harm than normally possible. The fact that the hiss makes an effort to preserve its corrupted hosts underlines a level of awareness and discretion that was previously just speculation on my part. Can this entity be considered an individual or simply an extension of the hiss as a whole? Capturing one alive would be quite interesting. Astronaut information. This report serves introductory guide to the astronaut program, including candidate requirements, training practices, and astral research procedures. Astronauts are chosen individuals who explore and document the astral plane by making physical contact with the X-ray light box. See case file OOP18 for details. In the Hypnosis Lab, a section of the Parapsychology Division, physical and psychological training is vital for the repeated transition between planes known as dives. After each dive, astronauts must undergo a redacted session in the cognitive recording chairs to record their experience in the plane. Gathered data has conclusively proven that redacted within the astral plane vary widely between astronauts. On rare occasions, these dives can result in losses, often occurring when teams encounter aggressive astral entities. Before using the recording devices, please ensure the following safety measures are met. Ensure the volunteer is securely fastened in their chair. 2. Ensure the hood is placed over the volunteer's head. This will prevent the volunteer from taking in visual stimuli during the record process, which can lower the quality of captured footage. This also prevents recording technicians from viewing the volunteer's face, which undergoes muscle spasms during recording that some consider upsetting. 3. Check if the volunteer is comfortable. 4. Activate the recording apparatus. 5. After recording is complete, check volunteer cognitive ability using the provided questionnaire. Reminder: do not be alarmed if the length of recorded footage exceeds the volunteer's period of unconsciousness. Astral dilation is a known issue. If any problem arises during this process, contact your supervisor. Groupthink. Utilization of paranatural element. Rethinking groupthink. Summary. This study extends beyond the work of Irving Jadis, Robert Barron, and others by proposing strong causal links between groupthink and the passive or active use of telepathy. To prove these connections, the Parapsychology Department carried out variations of Solomon Asch's original conformity experiments using a telepathic individual as the subject. See experiments redacted for details. Extensive qualitative and quantitative data resulting from these experiments was then used to identify telepathic interference within the group. Further empirical findings suggest measures can be taken to safeguard against telepathic influence on behaviors by engaging in redacted. Rather boldly, this paper stands to revolutionize decades of groupthink theory and provide new directions for further experimentation of the mind, including manipulations of redacted and redacted. I mean, I've seen it before, but when I said it that I stated that I was parodying, but first let me take a selfie. Oh, did not realize that. Investigating. Yeah. An object of power definitely going to be more priority than helping someone whose life is in danger. This is age 17, this is 22. That's better. Okay. So we're going to have to start with the fairly annoying process of destroying shit. Because our inventory is full. I'm gonna keep about one of each kind. Launch energy cost 11, better. Evade energy, same. Launch energy cost. If I go, yeah, awesome, thank you. I'm gonna keep the best of every type. Good. Gonna have to do the same with the weapon mods, unfortunately. Although we might want to equip several of the same type eventually. We're gonna wait. We're not as close to the limit on the weapons. We're gonna keep it like that. Okay. Investigate the X. Okay, let me see. Can we? Okay. It's somewhere over there. It's a bit unclear. Investigate the X-ray light box object of power. Yes. Where is it? Not here. Okay. But there were several other rooms we didn't go to before going to talk to Marshall. So let's start with that. Guess we're going to have to run through everything again. Extrasensory alarm. Okay. Let's try. Okay. We've got a lot to explore currently. Okay. Correspondence. Sensory tank purpose. Darling here, some of you were curious why I had these sensory deprivation tanks installed. I thought I'd shed some light on the subject. Maybe some of you have heard of a Dr. Yomishu Tokui, the man behind the hugely popular guided imagery experience tapes. Apparently his tapes go beyond the normal meditative qualities of such things, but create genuine hallucinatory visions in some listeners, or so the reports say. We brought these tanks in to test Dr. Takui's tapes for ourselves. Plus, there may be some stress-relieving uses for the staff down the road. I think we could all benefit for some time in a dark, enclosed space, don't you? If you have any more questions, feel free to stop by my office. You know where it is. Dr. Takui Investigations. Okay. Dr. Yoshimi Takui, a Japanese citizen residing in Tokyo, has produced a series of guided imagery experience audio recordings that have gained notable popularity among the globe. Due to his unusually swift rise in fame, along with reports of vivid redacted accompanying the use of his tapes, investigation sector staff were asked to look into Dr. Takui's background. We found no past incident with an altered occurrence, nor any evidence of involvement with an altered organization. However, an altered organization. Interesting drop of info, implying that there are organizations that are somehow altered. Like, obviously, I would say the FBC counts as one, because they're kind of ruled by the board, controlled by the board. It's a bit unclear, but apparently there are other organizations. Very interesting. However, agents that attended a signing event reported redacted when hearing Dr. Takui speak. We recommend that the research team obtain an audio recording of Dr. Takui's voice and perform any and all relevant analysis. Based on the findings, the investigation sector will determine next steps regarding Dr. Takui as well as his eligibility for the Prime Candidate Program. Refer to file, blah blah badaba. Bentex, yeah, that's if it was in the same universe, for sure, Bentex would be one of them. Hello, you. You thought you were well hidden. You were, actually. You really were. I almost missed it. Okay. Don't know what they were testing here, but I don't feel safe in this room. Did we read everything? Yes. Okay. Right.
I see it. Another object of power? They're just standing there, mesmerized by it.
Right. I remember this. I don't think it's going to affect anything here, but that's something from the luck department. It alters luck in a localized region.
Please state your name for the record.
Paul Warren, astronaut, first class.
And you are aware that exposure to the astral plane can result in death, disability, personal injury, corporeal untangling, cognitive collapse, loss of ego, and partial to full dementia?
Yeah. I am.
And you acknowledge that your use of the astral conduit, aka the X-ray light box, is purely voluntary?
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Your suit is good? Okay, you're all set. Open the door for Mr. Warren, please.
Let's go get another power, y'all. board? Talk to me. Gladly. So, give me what control I'm supposed to press. Enemies at low health can be seized. Okay. Yes. What button? Okay, F. There we go. I took a risk with that one.
Their brains were fried when I took over the object.
I suppose we could try and make a shield slash sons build.
Please state your name for the record.
Sorry, we saw that. This one is new. Okay. X-ray light box. No unique procedures needed. The object is a light box used to examine X-ray images. The image cannot be removed from the light box. The information on the image belongs to a patient named Redacted. The object allows para-utilitarians to forcefully seize an individual's Redacted. The seized individual becomes Redacted to the user. The effect lacks Redacted. Once released, the seized Redacted as a result of the psychic trauma. The object has no current binder. Background. A janitor named Redacted bound the object at a St. Anne's hospital in Redacted. Soon the building's occupants were redacted by him. The Bureau dispatched an emergency response team to redact the perpetrator and redact the item. Fatalities numbered in the redacted. Numbered in the redacted. For operational details, see case blah blah blah. Okay. Seize. Okay, so we can upgrade the duration, which I suppose is a thing. Seize more enemies or seize large enemies when their health is low. Could be interesting. I'm not sure. I'll try to use it in battle a little bit more before I make a definitive decision. Teresa's, speaking of wood stuff, this is just, speaking of World of Darkness stuff, this is just a thought, but how would you like me to run Hunter 5 instead of V5. I started off not very interested, but after the preview I would like to run it. I feel like it would be a good way for you to test the system. It comes out after June, so you would be freer. Just a thought, and might be something to consider. If you choose V5, I would like to wait until the V5 Player's Handbook comes out, because I want to test out some stuff in it. It's fine by me, to be honest. I'm interested in Hunter 5th a bit more than I am Vampire. The Vampire thing is mostly in terms of the lore. But yeah, I agree. I mean, systems-wise, we can see as much from Hunter as we would from Vampire. And it's actually going to be probably a bit more interesting because then we can compare it. Not that I'm on any level an expert of Vampire, but you know Vampire 5th system pretty well, so we can have conversations on the distinctions there. Sure, absolutely. I'm okay with it. Oh, do we have anything for the construct? Did we get... We got the blips, but we don't have the source. We can get a bit of source, but not enough. So we're just gonna wait. That sounds like a great plan, man. Let's do that, yeah.
Trench said his team knows all the Bureau's secrets, Marshall especially. Does she know what happened to Dylan?
Oh, what? Okay.
Marshall is waiting for you in the Luck Lab, just down the hall.
Cool. Okay, bye. Let me go, like, anywhere but there. Okay. Rubber duck supplement. Discovered in the home of Agent Redacted after his young daughter complained of being followed by her rubber duck. According to Agent Redacted, the matter was ignored, believed to be the result of a child's imagination, until he began to hear the quacking at night. After discovering the item hiding in his daughter's closet, he brought it to the Bureau for study. Update. It was discovered that Agent Redacted was bringing known paranatural material into his home, illegally taking them outside the oldest house. How this may have affected the creation of an altered item is being investigated. Agent Redacted has been terminated. Well, considering how the...
Speak with her, ma'am. She's just down the hall.
Thanks, I know. How the board fires people... You know, y'all could have helped me when I was down there, just saying. Yeah, exactly. Ahmed is terminated. Considering I'm pretty sure that Trench died because he shot himself with the service weapon because the board decided that Jesse was going to be the new director. Yeah, I don't think I can get to all of them. Yeah.
There you are. I was starting to worry.
Yeah. I'm doing things. Yeah. I may have to wait until I can do the thing. Okay. So essentially there is a secret in the game where like there's a bunch of luck related items in the room, like this thing. If you turn it on, like it affects luck. If you maximize your luck by activating all of them and then go play that over there, this game of chance, you can not only unlock an achievement but a special jacket, if memory serves. But first, Marshall.
Congratulations on your appointment, Director Phaeton. I'm Helen Marshall, head of Bureau Operations. Zachariah's dead then, and I assume you found his gun.
Just call me Jesse. Trench told me to find you. He said you could help.
And he told you this through the hotline. Makes sense.
None of this phases her? Really?
Here's the situation. Darling created the HRAs in a lab nearby. We need more if we're gonna survive this attack. My rangers can't secure the lab alone, not against those things. We need more firepower.
At least she seems to know what's going on here. She could know about Dylan.
I can clear out the hiss. I'll be your firepower.
That's a good answer.
Is she testing me?
Darling has systems in place to protect his labs. This should help you get past them. We'll talk more after you clear out the hiss. Rangers, let her through. We'll have to lock the door behind you. Sorry, but we can't risk a breach.
That's fine, but what did you just give me?
Oh, it's George. Let's see if we can find anything.
I see rangers over there. We have to help them.
First, coffee. Not the best place while, you know, in the middle of a firefight. If you're wondering why I didn't kill the guy, it's... I was checking to see if I could possess him. Seize him despite it healing itself. There you go. Come on. Seize you. Oh, range. Okay. Go fight, my minion! Take forever, unfortunately. I'm not 100% sure I want to build based on that. Rangers survived that. I was not quick enough in dealing with the flyer, the exploding dudes. Unfortunately. But I do remember successfully saving them in my original playthrough, and it didn't do anything. They were just, like, in the room, running around, as if they were kind of confused. Like, the fight's over, but they didn't know it. It was weird. Okay, sounds like I looted everything. This remains locked. Alright. Can't go over there. Nothing to be done over here. A shelter might be nice. I suppose I could just start with that. Kind of went in. I want a new phone, so I'm gonna destroy my old one. Yeah. The director, for sure. Hello. Fan of boss fights that keep summoning ads, as they say in MMOs nowadays. Find our, yeah, in Protective City. So this is where we need to go. So what we're going to do, since there are 15 minutes left, is we're going to go into all the other offices. Like all the extra zones, and we're going to do Darling's lab last, as in next week. Even synchronicity is a rather big thing. If memory serves, might not be able to just. Oh yeah, mirror is a whole thing. We can't do the mirror tonight. Yeah. Mirror also is difficult. As in, hello you. As in, it's a puzzle that's. Got some nuance to it, let's just say. So synchronicity is gonna wait until next week as well. I suppose. No, actually I'm not even gonna go show you, because it'll be easier if we come in having freshly read the paperwork. Yeah, let's do that. Because if we read it now, next week we might not remember critical data that's going to help us figure out It might be. Or I think maybe last time I did the mirror a bit late. Not entirely sure. Okay, so synchronicity next time. You don't lead me anywhere new, right? Right. You're still blocked, that's fine. We can probably do rituals today. So let's start by reading the new thing. Warp. Hiss Warped. The Hiss Warped wield only paranatural abilities, similar to drifters. They are able to telekinetically shield themselves with nearby material and launch objects at their target. These entities are particularly destructive and difficult to kill, possibly indicating a greater internal reinforcement of Hiss resonance. Why do certain Hiss display paranatural abilities, while others rely on Bureau firearms? Do certain corrupted entities have less potential than the hosts that become Hiss Warped? Or is this perhaps an indication of evolution or maturation of the Hiss? What is the Hiss? What if the Hiss inhabits a host for a month, a year? Do hosts expire after a certain amount of time? Does the corruption become too strong for an organic body to endure? Only time and well-documented observation will tell. Yeah, I think you saw me do the mirror, so I'm pretty sure I did the mirror pretty late in the game, but I think I actually started streaming after that. I'm pretty sure I did pretty much all of research before the streaming. I think most of the core game was done when I started streaming, and I was doing the expansions. Examination of paranatural topics. Experimentation with global synchronicity. Summary. As a test, television sets were placed in a variety of locations around the world inside rooms identically decorated. The hypothesis was that by identically altering the decor of every room, and then changing the channel in every room but one, that the single differing television would spontaneously align the incoming frequency to match its synchronized counterparts. The experiment seemed like a failure until it was observed that the agents responsible for arranging and monitoring these rooms were all experiencing the same emotional turmoil, as one clinically depressed member of the team, himself being located in the eastern part of Redacted. Psychological examination of the agents proved the correlation. Interestingly, the phenomenon of synchronicity did occur, but not in the way we predicted. That's pretty cool indeed. Yeah, I'm pretty sure... I know I finished the core game on stream. I didn't just, I didn't just do the expansions, but I'm pretty sure I was further along in the game than this. Some new lore, everyone. Correspondence. Carla. File received. Thank you for the file. It was very helpful. I have re-archived it with the BlackRock research in case you need to refer to them again. Yes, the video shoots are always interesting. I expect my availability for those to decrease in the future, however, as my analysis of this newly discovered BlackRock variants is reaching a critical point. I hope you will be able to attend them still. Darling seems to be under a lot of pressure lately, and I'm sure he would appreciate any support you can provide. Regarding the analysis you provided, I do not have any questions. Thank you for the expeditious delivery. Regards, Research Specialist Dr. Carla Vaughn, Federal Bureau of Control. I'm pretty sure that was in response to the earlier letter we read, and in which Dr. whoever he was had a crush on Dr. Carla Vaughn, and clearly, with her having made zero mention of it, she's not into him. Rituals. And that's an interesting bit of lore, actually, so hopefully they're going to get into the details of it here. Examination of paranatural topics, tangible effects of rituals, obsessive compulsive disorder, hoarding, anxiety disorder. While certain manifestations of these conditions are simple, the result of mental illness, sometimes the individuals are simply performing, redacted, called rituals. The redacted of rituals can vary. Numerology, dream logic, forfeiture, verbal formulae, repetitive action, and causal tetherings are just some of the procedures involved. Some rituals are consistent, such as pulling the light switch cord 3 times to enter the motel, but some are erratic. While most people engage in minor rituals every day, the vast majority do not understand the importance behind their actions. Avoiding disaster, amassing luck, or simply locating lost keys are all the results of daily rituals. Individuals who recognize a deeper meaning behind these compulsive actions are inherently aware of the paranatural world, and when located, should be considered for employment at the Bureau. Refer to the file redacted for full report. There's more to rituals than that, actually. Okay, the game is keeping that pretty basic for now, but we're definitely going to talk about rituals a little bit more. I think they're going to expand on them in the containment section of the game. Well, the problem is we've got 8 minutes to go, and we're kind of stuck having to do things that we said we'd wait for. Yeah, no. Oh, I don't think I went in that one. We may need to enter Darling's lab. We're not going to touch much, but yeah, I think we're going to have to get there. You know what? I just saw the Threshold Kid file, and I know you know that file, so maybe it is where I started streaming last time. Depending on what it says on that file, because I remember you a couple of weeks ago remembered why they created the Threshold Kids. So if that's a file you're aware of and we just got it, and I read the files as we were going, there's a strong chance you're correct. This is where I started, which would be a lot earlier than I thought it was. Anyway, the initiative proposal for the Threshold Kids. Problem. With the recent arrival of the Redacted, there are certain glaring gaps in the Bureau's ability to educate and raise a young Redacted. There are no other Redacted for Redacted to play with, and Redacted is expected to learn about the frightening new concepts. There's an extra letter here, but whatever. Solution. Redacted will require a slow, Redacted-friendly introduction to paranatural topics. With this in mind, allow me to introduce the Threshold Kids, a television show in which a cast of cheerful puppets explain the dangers of living at the Bureau, but also show the fun side of the paranatural. Budget would be minimal. I took a few puppet-making courses at my local community center. We can have research staff build the sets, record the footage, and even do the voices. It will be good for morale, and I guarantee Redacted will respond positively to these videos. We can't expect a Redacted to enjoy lectures and people in lab coats, but as television has proven for years, Redacted love puppets. Could have been, yeah, true. Could have been that too. I guess we'll just keep going, and I mean, if whatever comes up next, story-wise, feels like something new or different, you know, we can learn from that. I think we can keep going a little bit, because I don't think we're going to be straight in his lab right then and there. But we're going to have to remember next week to come back and do the mirror. Because the mirror is pretty darn cool. Ooh. The rubber duck.
Altered item number 52AE analysis, session 2. I will begin by introducing various stimuli to the item. First, a low voltage electric shock. No response. Next, I will introduce heat via a standard Bunsen burner. No response. Next, a series of solutions will be applied, each with a different value on the pH scale, from 0 to 14. No response to any value. Next, I will attempt to communicate. Can you understand me? Can you understand my words? Quack if you can understand my words. No response. This concludes session 2. We'll need time to prepare further tests.
I remember you projecting being one of the first things you got when you were streaming, but also knew you had access to the vault and met grown-up brother. Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So much later then. I really don't think.
This way to the lab? Okay.
Really don't think.
You must like these HRAs. Sounds like Darling built them. And most of the things around here. If Marshall can't help us with Dylan, he's our next best bet. Assuming he's not dead. Or taken over by the hiss.
I would expect probably next week there's a chance we can potentially reach what you're just referring to. I won't refer to just, you know, to avoid potential spoilers, but yeah. Clearly there, up there. Okay, we can't do that yet. There was clearly a sound coming from up there. Probably another object of power. Too much longer. Just want to get to the chest. For some reason, she won't. Okay, let me try from above. She just won't grab the things that were in our way. Here is the HRA lab.
You led me here. Any idea how to make it work?
Kinda wish we got a control station. Okay, well the game auto-saved actually. I could see the icon on the lower left, so lower right. So I'm gonna take that as a point where to stop for tonight. And if you mess with the photo mode, I probably should do that eventually. Anyway, so I'm actually gonna stop there for tonight. Next week we're gonna try to go for the mirror, and we're going to pick that up, figure out what we can figure out with this whole lab, but we're not going to read any of it because I want the hints to be fresh. There's going to be a few puzzles here. As you can see, there's this station with a number on it and several stations actually with numbers on them. So we can start next week by reading everything and figuring stuff out. God damn it. God damn it, man, you're so unlucky with those. Well, I do wish you luck. I really do wish you luck. I hope you do keep your job despite the downsizing. Keep me up to date, man. Just hopefully it goes well for you. That sucks. Hope it goes well. Hope it goes well. Hey, at least there's a shirt in the mail for you. Hopefully that's gonna cheer you up for a bit. Know that you're appreciated and what you do matters. Hopefully that's the message behind the shirt anyway. So yeah. For everybody else, however, actually and you as well, thank you for coming tonight. I hope you enjoyed Control. I'm still really loving this game. I'm still blown away by its originality and its way of taking the concept of everything paranatural in the parapsychology world and building it into this whole cohesive narrative, and we've still barely scratched the surface of it. So I really look forward to sharing the rest of this amazing universe with all of you over the coming weeks. So next Monday, for sure, since I'm on vacation, we will be streaming the next week after that. After which, though, I don't know. I'll keep you all updated. Once again, I might be doing the training, and it might just be too much. I'll keep you all updated. I'll try to finish at least the core game within those 3 weeks. We'll see how things go. But thanks for coming. Again, I really enjoy sharing these games with you, and I hope you're also enjoying it. If you haven't yet, please go and watch A Right to Remember. There are 3 episodes out yet. I haven't gotten actually any feedback yet, so I have no idea how people are enjoying them. So please drop by and chat on the Geomint Network. The link for that has come up on the chat a couple of times, or at least it should come up. There should have been also Nightbot should have given you a couple of links straight to the videos, because yeah, I mean, it's something I worked a lot on, and I'm happy to share it with everyone, but also I want to see how people are enjoying it, not just in terms of getting my serotonin levels high, but also seeing if there are things that I could do better for next season or that kind of thing. Also, I didn't really push a lot in publicity yet. I'm waiting to get the initial feedback from people like Stanil, who finds it awesome, so good to know. But also, other people who follow my things, or people whose work I respect in the field of werewolf, like Amelin, for example. If they were to watch it, and if they're watching this right now, I'm really looking forward to see what they think of it. Tara, of course, all of the usual culprits. I am looking to see what they think of it before I really push for publicity and get a lot more people on board. Because if my core audience, you guys watching this right now, and other people I know who make werewolf lore videos like it, then I'm going to make a much bigger push. Posting it on Facebook, posting it on Twitter. I will be confident that what is out there is actually something that is interesting for people, and then I'm going to push it. Because I wouldn't want, to push it if it's bad. I don't want to push it and just get a bunch of people come back and say, "Oh, you suck." That's not fun for anyone. But I can work with constructive criticism, because that's something I can use to improve later on. But if people like it in general, then I know that I can safely, I guess, push for it, and more people will enjoy it. I'm rambling, but I think you see what I'm going for. So, in other words, if you've watched it and you've got some constructive criticism, or if you watched it and you loved it, either way, please drop by the Geomint Network. Let me know what you think. Or if you're one of those who have direct access to me, like Terra, for example, we're friends on Discord, and obviously Stanil, we're also quite personal friends. If you'd rather not do that in public, especially if it's constructive, I understand why you wouldn't want to do that. Just let me know. Let's talk. Let me know what you thought about it, and yeah, I would really appreciate feedback, is what I'm saying. At this point, that's what I need to keep working and try to expand the fan base of A Right to Remember. So that's it. That's what I wanted to say. Thank you very much for coming. I hope you all had a great evening. See you all next week for more Control. Good night, everyone.